Most of my photography has been self-taught. A lot of trial and error has led me to where I am today. But one thing I did have to find out from others was definitely flash photography. I remember signing up for an outdoor workshop with Noel del Pilar, a tenured wedding veteran, and he put me onto Godox. Once I got my hands on a few of their items, it's been smooth sailing ever since. Granted, he's been shooting weddings for more than 2 decades, and if after 20 years of experience, he's still using Godox products, then that must tell me that they're good. And in this video, I'm going to explain why I think he is right. So good to be seen, and it's even better to see you. Welcome back to yet another episode. In today's video, we're talking flashes and why I went with Godox over the competition. Full disclosure, I'm a destination wedding photographer with the occasional private and or corporate event. Just figured you should know where this input is coming from. We're going to dive right in and explain the talking points I like to bring to your attention if you're in the market for flash items and or looking to upgrade. The first thing I'd like to showcase is the build quality. For something full of plastic, this feels somewhat very robust and tough in the hand. This V1 Pro, for example, is not the lightest on-camera flash you'll ever use, but when it comes to quality, you and I can agree that we don't want flimsy things tucked away in our bags and pelicans that are going to break on us at the worst possible moment. The same can be said for my AD200 Pro. This strobe is a staple in every photographer's bag and one that draws a lot of attention to Godox because of its impressive power. This is definitely my go-to strobe for outdoor portraiture, and I love how beefy it is in the hands, knowing it's going to last a very long time. The second point we're touching on today is the ease of use. I haven't come across a flash unit that is as easy to operate as this Godox V1 Pro. I honestly think the AD200 Pro is even easier to navigate. I do have a bone to pick, and that's the fact that they're still living like it's 1997 with a user interface straight out of a 90s warp zone, but at least it's user-friendly and won't cause you to lose your cool when you're fumbling through the settings. Syncing flashes is also a breeze, especially with their newly released X3 trigger. Unlike the actual flash units, the trigger is touch-based and much like your smartphone these days, and it'd be nice to see Godox move away from tactile buttons and fully immerse themselves in this technology. The third point will actually be the light quality. I'm being honest when I say that I've never had an issue with the lighting. It's been well documented that the original V1 had sort of like a greenish hue to it, and that apparently has been fixed in this Pro version. It's never let me down. Recycle times are actually really fast for an on-camera unit. Overheating has never reared its ugly head, and for those days I forget to bring the AD200 Pro, blasting it at 1/1 power has actually saved me in a pinch. Bounce against the ceiling is how I've used it most during weddings, and the AD200 Pro has been crucial in dimly lit receptions. I love how the light is true to tone and renders skin tones. No complaints from me there. Finally, and perhaps the most important talking point for a lot of you, is affordability. Everything that you see here was less than $700, which is more than I can say when you look at competitors like ProFoto, whose A10 alone has an MSRP as almost $1,100. Both the V1 and the AD200 Pro hover around the $350 mark, and the new trigger is roughly $90, which means that you can have this little starting bundle for less than a single unit from the top flash manufacturer. This isn't to say Godox is the only one at this price point, because you can also look the way of Westcott and Godox and even Neewer, who also happen to feature competitive lighting as well. At the end of the day, I'm a fan of Godox for the same reason I like Sigma glass. I think they are the best bang for your buck items within their niche, and you cannot go wrong when you pull the trigger on any of these. Speaking of which, I hooked you up with links to all of these down in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. If you've been on the fence about Godox and this tipped you over the edge, stick that thumb you know where, and if you love a good gear review as much as the next guy, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you. As a token of my appreciation for your time, I've gifted you for a free 30-day trial to Aftershoot just for having watched until the end. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.